My name is Rhapsody, welcome back to the Bazaar. We've got a free run, a free ranked run. We're going to be going in as Vanessa with our new skin. All signs are pointing towards this being a good day. Alright, what do we got in the quarters? Ooh! Early barrel? Oh man. There's also a piranha, every 5 seconds deal 10 damage, deals double crit damage. There's the hand axe, every 7 seconds deal 10 damage. Your weapons have 6 additional damage. And then finally Switchblade. Every 8 seconds deal 30 damage. When you use an adjacent weapon, give it plus 6 damage for this fight. Because poison has been... I'm not going to say poison has been killed at all. Poison is definitely not off the menu, boys. But poison is definitely less of a priority as a build. At least from what I've seen so far. So having a lot of shield, having something that gets shield every 4 seconds, the barrel, every 4 seconds get 10 shield. When you use a non-weapon item, this gains 10 shield for the fight. Having something like that is absolutely perfect. Sharpening kit for additional damage. You can go get a strange heart in the mushroom. I'm gonna go for Quicksalt. I'm just looking for small items that I can slot alongside this bad boy. Specifically small non-weapon items, ideally. The Cutlass with a 5-second cooldown to do 6 damage, multicast 2 with double crit damage, is not exactly the kind of thing I'm looking for. There's Powder Flask as well. I'm going to take a very optimistic roll here. There's a lighter for 2, every 3 seconds burn 1. I'll be taking that. If any, I just need some non-weapons to scale this barrel a little bit, and then I can feel very comfortable. Alright, Pyro. Care to give me another lighter? I'll take it. If you only give me cinders so that I can increase the burn of the lighter, I'll take that too. I'm not going to turn it down. So there's a couple different ways to go with the barrel. Like, you know, it says non-weapon items. Most aquatic items are non-weapons. Most of them. Obviously, piranha, eels, shark claw, shark ray. Like, there are aquatic weapons. But a lot of them aren't. So that'd work really well with the barrel. But also, I wonder if I can do a... Well, I mean, I know it would be very good with things like Astrolabe, Weatherglass, Lighter. Cult sells items with ammo. There's not that many ammo items that I want at this point in time, but I will take 2 golden 1 experience if you're offering. Finn. Eat fins to get max HP. I do like max HP, but also, I like having some regen. I really like having some regen in the early game. It makes poison builds that are just taking off less likely to kill us. Like, I don't do damage, I gain shield. But also Finn gives us the opportunity to give 10 additional shield to the barrel instead. I'm gonna avoid that and take a regeneration. I've been taking it more and more recently, and I've only been impressed with it. I can sell the cinders for the lighter, but realistically, I'm not actually increasing our damage on board. Okay, I am. I'm doing 2 more damage every 3 seconds. That is not gonna be what makes the difference in this fight. What's gonna be what makes the difference in this fight is whether or not my barrel gets me enough shielding that I survive longer into the sandstorm than they do. That'll be what decides this fight. Very glad that I have 5 regen, because it'll help us deal with the copper ed of it all. Oh, they've got Brick Buddy, so they've also got a scaling shielding. Oh boy, yeah. Oh, this is a nightmare. I think they have better scaling shielding than I do. They don't even have their silver item on board. They don't even have their core on board. Just a Brick Buddy between First Aiden and Copper Ed. That said, my barrel is triggering more commonly than their Brick Buddy. Mine's every 4 seconds, theirs every 5. That's really impactful. Especially because they have very similar scaling. Yeah, I'll win. Only just. That 5 regeneration is why I won, by the way. Let's have a look at the recap. 990 versus their 940. Yeah, 12 burn from the lighter. Realistically, I think, because shields... Can I pull up something that says... Yeah, shield. Reduces burn damage by 50%. I don't know if that rounds down, but if it does, then my lighter did 0 damage to them the entire fight. And if I sold the cinders, it would have done 12 damage total. Which, wouldn't I have felt silly if the 12 damage was the difference. Pip teaches bronze tier skills. Please give me first flame or immolating spark or something of that ilk. Arms dealer, when you buy a weapon, gain 20 max HP. I'm not going to want to buy that many weapons. Peaceful Eye, your non-weapon items have 5% crit chance. And rear shielding, your rightmost shield item has +20 shield. Realistically, what I want here is more impact. I want to be more aggressive. So I'm going to re-roll here. Oh. And I'm actually really sad about it. Arbitrage, when you win a fight against a player, gain 2 gold. I think I'm going to take that over Right Eye for 8% crit chance on our rightmost item, or Right-handed for 20 weapon damage. I definitely should have just taken the peaceful one beforehand. That definitely would have been better for us in this instance. Alas. Jungle Ruins. I could dig as Vanessa for a small item. And I do want some items. Nautica sells aquatic items. There are definitely aquatic items that make sense.
Hello.
Like Beach Ball or Seaweed. Seaweed, when you use an aquatic item, this gains 5 heal for the fight, and Beach Ball, every 4 seconds, hates an aquatic item for 2 seconds. Also, Ambergris is here. Ambergris in English, but ambergris in French. I went through it on stream. Ambergris is here. When you buy another aquatic item, this gains 1 value, so I can buy this, it'll already have 1 value, and then I can buy Seaweed and Beach Ball, and then sell Ambergris, and I'll still be ahead.
Scrape off the barnacles. Good as new. I'm sure you sailors know how to use that.
Okay, so now I have good healing as well. I mean, realistically, the cinders is getting sold for the lighter. If I do that, then I have to roll, and then I won't even be able to buy a new aquatic item for the sake of ambergris. Alright, I'm just going to field it again then. I do think lighter should be on this board, actually. Activates twice as fast as ambergris for the sake of the barrel. It's not an aquatic item, so it's not giving additional heal scaling to the seaweed, which is the downside here. I actually think the Covetous Thief is much more dangerous to me right now than the Rogue Scrapper. The Rogue Scrapper I can out-heal and out-shields, and I will win at the end. Oh, Coconut Crab. Just try and get a very, very big barrel and then hit him in the face with the Crusher Claw. Crusher Claw deals damage equal to the shield of your highest shield item. Unfortunately, that's not actually a great plan, because it means that I have to have a bunch of stuff on board in order to get the barrel really perked up so that I can use a weapon. I sacrifice 2 slots on board for the sake of the scaling of the barrel in order to use a weapon that is probably significantly worse than just what I'm already accomplishing without it. Covetous Thief. I actually think I lose to the Covetous Thief more likely than the Rogue Scrapper. Rogue Scrapper is eventually just doing 60 to 80 damage to me like every 10 seconds. Very quickly, Barrel will eclipse that. I'll sell Cinders. I was about to say, I'll sell Cinders in order to increase the burn on the lighter. It didn't do it. I was gonna freak out, but no, don't worry.
Another empty chest.
What the heck?
Waiting to be filled.
Some folks a lot older than me.
What?
Lived a lot less.
I promise I'm not cheating. I mean, I've even lost the beach ball and stuff. But if you're gonna give me... I mean, look, Final Dose and Creeping Toxins are both incredible. And I will absolutely put poison in this build if I find it. But Red Envelope for 10 gold so that I can just flood the board with stuff in the next... Yeah.
Maybe I'm getting better at this.
Do I have time powers? I think I might have time powers. I'm gonna go to Nautica. Do you have the same shop? That would be funny. You do not. You have Beach Ball and Dock Lines, which is an absolute serve.
Seeking.
Come on.
Probably.
Beach Ball, now hasten aquatic item for 2 seconds. Dock Lines, slows an item for 3 seconds. Yes, they are all quite large. They are all taking up some space on the field. Pearl, when you use another aquatic item, charge this 1 second. I'll take it, because if I scale Pearl alongside these, it could actually get really good. Andy sells small... What happened? Andy sells small items. There are small items I want, but more than anything right now, I think I need... experience. I need more space on my field. Well, there's the Rogue Scrapper again. And am I here to tell you the same news? That I think I can outscale it? So every 6 seconds, basically, I'm activating 2 other items, scaling the barrel, and I've got 5 regeneration under it. Yeah, I actually think I have a better chance against the Rogue Scrapper than I do against the other, the other unit on field. Especially if the slow actually hits relevant targets. So they've maxed out on the amount of shielding they're capable of generating. They're up to 490 effective health. And I'm generating shield over the top of them consistently. Between their barbed wire and their junk club, they're doing 15, 15, half 15, 7.5, so 37.5, just under 100 damage every 10 seconds. And every 4 seconds I'm shielding for 300.
Already? We barely got our flags up.
Barbed wire, when you shield, this gains 5 damage for the fight. Unfortunately, barrel doesn't shield when you use a non-weapon item, it just gains shield. So it still only gets extra damage every 4 seconds. But extra damage every 4 seconds is nothing to turn your nose up at. Especially if it's your only weapon on board. But it's also a weapon. If I just put the lighter there instead, I scale my shielding so much better. Bronze tier item, bronze tier loot item, as well as 2 gold, or a bronze tier ammo item. Bronze tier loot items can't include cinders, which now starts at silver. So I'm uninterested for specifically that reason. I'm gonna go for a bronze tier item and hope that I get something aquatic or a non-weapon. Neither aquatic nor a non-weapon, this is a rifle! When you use this, reload 1 ammo if it's your only weapon. Jungle Ruins, Alia sells weapons. I could go to the Jungle Ruins and gain some experience. At this point, it's the most impactful thing, I think. Middle sells medium items. An upgrade on my barrel, it's only a 10% chance for silver items to be sold today, but an upgrade on my barrel would be incredible. An upgrade on dock lines or beach ball, I would be over the absolute moon with. That would be unbelievably good. Fishing rod. Every 8 seconds, haste the aquatic item to the right for 2 seconds. At the start of each day, gain a small aquatic item. I don't dislike it. I just wanted it a higher quality. Because... like, just a small aquatic item? I'm gonna roll. Oh no. Oh no, dear, oh no. Oh no, 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 no. I'm gonna take the star chart so that I have the ability to use the docks events to their full potential. Oh, look at this build. Look at this absolute build right here. Having more items on the field activating more commonly is definitely better for the scale of the barrel. Barbed wire. So what? It's 10 damage, then 15, because if it has the same cooldown as Barrel and I put it next to it, neither of these is going to be affected by haste from my board, so it's just down to slowness from my enemy board. If they don't have any slowness, then both of these resolve at the same time and it goes left to right, so the Barrel triggers first and then the Barbed Wire. This is also one of the reasons to put the Barrel to the far right of all of the other items that are activating on 4 seconds. But then the Barbed Wire triggers immediately after the Barrel, so it does its additional 5 damage. The thing is, I don't think that damage solves the fight. I think if I need to do damage to beat the enemy, I'm going to lose that fight anyway. So I don't think that really changes my fortunes at all. There's Life Preserver, the first time you would die each fight, heal 200. As well, Coral Armor, every 5 seconds, shield 10. When you buy another aquatic item, this gains 5 additional shield. Not into it. I suspect it's far less likely
You should know.
that
I'm a
I
bit of a
want
legend.
barbed wire on fields than
You're out to dethrone a king,
my
not to
lighter.
squabble with nobody.
Okay, they appear to be a weapon-based build of some kind. They are... Okay, this is interesting. So their strategy appears to be that they will just survive through the sandstorm, as in the sandstorm will claim my life before it claims both of their lives, their original life and then their fullback life with a life preserver. That's not going to be the case with the Barrel, I'm sorry to say. I have more than twice your health bar in shield, so I think we'll come ahead here. I can see how, like, because the Silver Life Preserver tells me that was probably the opening pick for them.
Does not defeat
I can
me.
see how that would have won them the first fight, because the enemy would have had to ruin 2 of their health bars in order to get to them. But that's not winning you many more after that point. Alright, that worked great. Alia sells weapons, so I'm going to go to Lost Crate and get golden experience and be pretty happy about that. Ooh, Sterling! I got a lot of money. Show me some silver tier items. Weather glass. Repeater, when you use another ammo with when you use another item rather with ammo, charge this 1 second. There's also the Sextant every 4 seconds, haste an item for 3 seconds. Adjacent items have 15% additional crit chance. When you crit, charge this 1 second. And Powder Keg. Deal damage equal to 30% of your enemies in max HP and destroy this. When you burn, charge it for 2 seconds. I'm going to take the roll because I really, really want to save my money. Sextant's the only one here that really has a position to argue for. Woof. Katana and Lanshan. Lanshan a little bit late. Katana, Lanshan says when you win a fight with Lanshan in play, this gains 50 damage, making it a little bit late to take now. And Katana, every 2 seconds, deal 8 damage. That's like Katana's totally fine. The only thing is, it will not work at all alongside my Barrel. There's also Seashell here, shield 10 for each aquatic item you have. The thing is, how many aquatic items am I gonna have? I'll take it and then leave. We get a space on our field immediately.
Waiting to be filled.
Upgrade bronze. Upgrade your leftmost bronze tier item. I need this beach ball
Ooh, the keen of
to get haste. I need it to be able to give more haste to my field. Eventually, I'd like it to be hasting 4 aquatic items, so it keeps everything in permahaste, because it does apply haste to itself. Scout Trooper. Scout Trooper does scale its damage is the thing. There's also much better rewards for me to get from the Rogue Scrapper than from the Scout Trooper. So I'm going to go for some justified cowardice here. I mean, what if they do give me the barbed wire upgrade? Scrap for the plus 12 shield would be really nice as well. Throw that on the Pearl. The Pearl is the most commonly triggering of my items because it gets an additional second of charge whenever I use an aquatic item, of which I have 4. Well, it says another aquatic item, so I have 4 aquatic items, but I have 3 other aquatic items. I mean, yeah, the barbed wire is actually doing significant damage by the end of the fight. I mean, I do also now have a Pearl and a Seashell on field, helping that out a little. Oh, 150 max HP means the world right now. As much as I would love to go to Quixel, and Quixel has so many useful things in her shop for me right now, 150 max HP. At this point in the game, when I'm running a build that is about scaling my shielding, it's too big to turn down. Speaking of running a shield about my building, build about my shielding rather, I think I'm pretty safe to take on the convoy. I just got experience for it. I don't think there's any enemy that they could have paired me up against there that I wouldn't have a chance against. I'm gonna sell the cinders for the lighter now. I mean, it's almost no additional damage.
I may be young for a captain, but I've seen my share of storms.
Yeah, they've got poison. Oh, they don't have it on field. Okay, they've got burn, but they don't have any burn scaling. Oh, that's really, really good for me. So shield halves burn damage incoming. So despite the fact that they've got a lot of burn on me, it is possible I managed to still outscale them. We can see cracks appearing right now. Uh-oh. Oh, I don't think I'm getting to the next trigger. Oh, I literally got there. I spawned it at the same frame as I died, but I had enough burn on me that I think they would have managed to win that anyway. That's a really good build. So Micro Dave now scales the amount that it charges by. When you use a small item, charge this 1 second at bronze level, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds at diamond. And there's also Bomb Squad. When you use an adjacent friend, charge this a second. So between the two of those, you can get a lot going off. And they absolutely did. I need to pick up, like, good offense. And that's realistically gonna come through someone like Kina giving me a weather glass.
Leave with big bargains.
We take dock lines. We definitely take dock lines upgrade for slowing a second item. There's jellyfish. When you use an adjacent aquatic item, this gains haste for 1 second. I could field that. I don't want to. Because catfish would be so much better for me, as it would actually get the haste from beach ball. No weather glass. We do see coral armor come back, as well as the silencer. Weapon to left of this has 10 additional damage if you have exactly 1 weapon, reduces cooldown by 10%, and then the powder flask if I need to reload anything, which I don't. Just getting the upgrade on dock lines is legitimately good enough, to be fair. Shatter. When you freeze, your weapons gain 10 damage for the fight. I don't freeze commonly. Bold under pressure. The first time you fall below half health each fight, haste 2 items 2 seconds. Honestly, not that bad. Stop that for slowing my enemies down on the same condition. Also not that bad. I'm gonna roll. This is very bold, but these will stop. These are good when I'm losing. And even then, they're only good against certain kinds of losses. If I'm being poisoned, it doesn't change anything. Improvised weaponry. When you crit, your weapons gain +5 damage for the fight. Woof. Slow targets. When you slow, your items gain 1% crit chance for the fight. So that's 2% crit chance every time the dock lines goes off. Admittedly, that's good. It's not incredible, but it's good. Nufu Soul skills. I'm gonna study for an additional experience because I don't have much money right now. I'm gonna ask this deadly crooner what he can do about that money situation. Not all of my build is pacifist. Got this little barbed wire over here. God, I love hiding that barrel. Doing such good work. Oh, I didn't think about that. At least it sells for 8, and it does give double the additional healing value. Okay, never mind. It's fine. The medkit got upgraded there. The docks. Oh boy. I want to go to middle, but the docks event is right here, and I do have the star chart. Silver tier aquatic item or a silver tier item? I'm going to go for the silver tier aquatic, hoping that I get one of the silver tier aquatics I already have. I don't, but I do get the torpedo. When you use another aquatic item or an item with ammo, this gains 20 damage for the fight. If the item is large, it also reloads. Oh, he sells weapons. Finn's got a big bite there. I think I will go Finn's big bite and go for the 10 additional shields option. It's 5% max HP as well as 10 additional shields to all of my shield items. Torpedo can only fire once in my build right now, so there's no reason I'm fielding it. No way I'm fielding it, rather. Oh, I don't even want to win this fight. Imagine being the person who killed equality. Alright, they've got a single double barrel on their board. Seems like they are intent on trying to crit with it. I don't see that working for them, as I have now outscaled the damage it does. People don't want to focus on any shields. They just don't want to shield in this meta. I don't understand it. I think people are maybe still responding to the previous poison meta, where if you took the time to build shield, the monitor lizard would get you. Yeah, 1,500 damage would have been enough to take out my entire HP bar, but we also shielded 5 times more than our HP bar. I really want to go to the Lost Crate, but non-weapon items, Kina, you have so much to teach me. What? Lighthouse? You can show up this early? When you slow, charge this 1 second. It burns for 12. So it charges for 2 seconds at gold and then 3 seconds at diamond, right? I think it's finally time for me to take the lighthouse. I've never gotten to use this before.
I'm glad you bought this.
I don't need barbed wire or lighter now. And seashell is probably the one to lose here. All right. Let's do it. Let's run a slow build. I mean, there's port. It's there. There's also torpedo, which would reload the port. It's also an aquatic item, so it increases its damage. It's a large item. No, I'm not doing that. I'm finally getting Lighthouse early enough to try and fully capitalize on it, and you want me to do something else? Absolutely not. Ramrod. Reload adjacent items with ammo and haste them for a second. There's also ambergris back. I could take a powder flask. It just reloads the item to the right of this a single ammo. I could take that because it gives me the ability to utilize some pretty absurd stuff. I am just thinking of, yeah, I am just thinking of energy potion right now. I'm not going to take it. I'm going to save my money. And he sells small items. Oh, do you have the energy potion? I know it can't, don't worry. That was a goof 'em up. That was a little bit of a yuck ha I was trying to do there. Barbed wire and seashell could probably go by the seaside so that I can go. Medkit's never really actually gonna get additional health on anything. I'll sell barbed wire and seashell. I just want to get to 10 gold so I can get my 150 max HP. So I had to take 3 items that were constantly activating off board for the sake of this lighthouse. This lighthouse does get 2 charge from the dock lines, but not much. This is definitely weaker than my previous build. I am under no illusions about that. This is a weaker build right now than I had before. But the upside of this build is so much higher. Let's quickly have a look, because, yeah, I know there's the fire guy there, juggling man, fire juggler, jug filer, flame juggler, that's what he's called. He's got a silver tier lighter, he's got cinders. Cinders would probably be really good. Fiery is a skill. But is there anything that I can pick up from Gorgon Nobel instead? Gorgon Noble would actually be quite difficult for me to beat, because it would poison me, and my barrel doesn't protect me against poison. My lighthouse will do damage, but you know what? Let's take a fight that I know I can win so I can see how well it's doing.
Want to join my act?
What I really need is something that activates when you use a large item. And no, I don't mean torpedoes reload. I don't really do much damage, and I did severely lower my... Oh, nice, cinders. Best pickup we could get there. I did severely lower my shielding capabilities here. So, Lighthouse. If I upgrade Lighthouse, then I now have 4 seconds worth of charge every time the dock lines triggers. If I upgrade dock lines, I have 3 seconds worth of charge for the Lighthouse, but also the dock lines is disrupting another item on my enemy board. So I'll take the dock lines upgrade. Also, I even get an additional % crit chance every time that cycles. I could try and go for a temporary boost and see if that can get me through the next fight. I don't think it will. I think I just need to focus on keeping my powder dry and just putting my head down and getting through this day and then prospering tomorrow. Star chart for additional golden experience. Yeah, like if anyone's going to do me dirty in this instance, it would be a dually. That's why they call him Do Me Dirty Dooley.
I may be young for a captain.
It takes a while to call him that, so they just call him Dooley for short. They've got some burn on their board. Yeah, I was wondering if I was going to see another Micro Dave. Is this meta now? Is this the new monitor lizard, Micro Dave burning you? They've also got scaling for Micro Dave's damage via the ignition core. I'm doing pretty well at slowing their stuff down, but I'm not doing great damage. Ooh. Got some crit shield there. That was really huge. Huh? Oh, okay. I was wondering why it showed their health bars full. It must have had an error for a second. Yeah, no, I actually managed to win that fight. Let's have a look at the recap. So my lighthouse, they've got scaling burn on their board as well as their entire board is positioned towards making microdave as fast as possible. They put out about double as much burn with microdave as my lighthouse did. But they're also not generating shielding alongside it, so they're lost. It's hard not to see just JJ's and go to it. It could have anything. Switchblade, Harpoon, and Jellyfish. It could even have things I don't want. As evidenced here. Turtle Shell. Turtle Shell says every 6 seconds, shield 10. Give your shield items plus 10 shield for the fight. When you use another non-weapon, charge this 1 second. If my board was more items, maybe. But my board isn't about how many items I have on the field at this point. My board is about how fast I can get them to resolve. I don't think Turtle Shell can fit in here. Disruption, haste trigger, single slot. Essential. Also, like, it doesn't... It's 2 different ways of scaling my shielding up, whereas Barrel is already here. Yeah, I don't... That's a shame. It's always a shame to go to a shop and reroll and see nothing you want. Eating chocolate. Kronos sells haste items. I'm gonna look at them, Kronos. But if you don't give me a beach ball, I'm gonna be salty. Turbo Shock Ray. That's kind of funny. Every 7 seconds, deal 10 damage. Haste 2 items for 2 seconds. When you haste, this gains 10 damage for the fight. Ugh. Don't make me pivot for a Shark Ray. There's also Turbo Shark Claws, hastes 2 items for a single second. Trebuchet. When you use another weapon or haste, charge this a second. Trebuchet does get very powerful at its high levels because now, despite the fact that it has a 10-second cooldown, its diamond tier is charge this for 4 seconds. It used to only charge for a single second the entire way up through its diamond tier. I hit the reroll, we found the weather glass, I am now going to put the weather glass on board. We also found catfish, hello. So weather glass, turbo weather glass. Every 6 seconds, burn for 4, and poison for 2. Haste 2 items for 2 seconds. If you have another item with burn, poison, slow, or freeze, this has +1 multicast for each. Did I? I did keep my lighter, that's good.
You'll be running circles around them with that.
I've also got to get a poison item, so I'll take the catfish.
The longer your life, think about it.
Alright. So we completely changed the build. The lighthouse is out, I'm sorry to say. I can imagine a world where it ends up getting back in, but it's pretty far from the current reality. Turbo Weatherglass. It gets +1 multicast for each burn, for if I have burn, poison, slow, or freeze. It doesn't matter how many of each of those triggers I have, just if I have one of each. I've got slow in the docklines, I've got burn in the lighter, I've got poison in catfish, I don't have freeze on board, but that's 4 times multicast, and the Weatherglass hastes 2 items for 2 seconds. It'll do that 4 times. This is absolutely where I wanted to be. We left ourselves open to a lot of different possibilities for how we were gonna start to capitalize on our early build. And, you know, sometimes that means you have to sub things in and sub things out, but getting the Turbo Hourglass on the field and it already having 4 times multicast at this point, that I think is... We could have put ourselves out of position for being able to sub back into this. I'm very glad I didn't. So, realistically, the poison number from this is not going to be especially high. What is going to be especially good, especially high, is the amount of haste given to all of my targets on field. So we're even getting significant poison out of the catfish at this point. But I'm doing all of that while shielding and burning and poisoning. Oh, give me the Shark Ray. Alright. Don't actually do it. Shark Ray. Every 7 seconds, do 20 damage. When you haste, this gains 20 damage for the fight. Turbo Weatherglass hastes a total of 8 times. I would... Do I take Beach Ball off the field and just rely on Turbo Weather Glasses haste? So in 6 seconds, this will haste 8 items, which the Shark Ray will see 8 items hasted and gain 160 damage. And then it'll do it again. Okay, I think this is probably pretty good. Orlan teaches gold tier skills, but Malafang teaches burn skills. Malafang, do you want to tell me about any of those burn skills you have? Or am I going to have to guess? Wait a second. Malafang, do you only have 5 burn skills here? It's showing me for... No, there are more common burn skills. Okay, cool.
I know
Right?
the eastern sky is beautiful at dawn.
I'm not seeing a lot of burn skills on here. Like, we might be able to force hotspot. It's saying there's only 5 burn skills available to Vanessa at this point, which I kind of want to call BS on. That said, also, gold tier skills matter a huge amount for me. There's so many skills that haste an aquatic item when... hastes a weapon when you use an aquatic item, or haste a weapon when you use a non-weapon item, or haste when you use your leftmost, or things like that, and they're all in the gold tier pool.
I will not train you to kill. I will train you to live.
Improvise poison. When you crit, your poison items gain 1 poison for the fight. Improvise burn. Same but for burn. Bullet time. The first 5 times you use an ammo item each fight, slow an item a second. I'm going to take my reroll. Yep. So this is it. Mixed messages. When you use a non-weapon item, a weapon gains haste for a second. So having 1 weapon on board is now exactly what I want. There's also righty-tighty. Oh my god, there's also righty-tighty. When you use your rightmost item, slow an item for a second. Alacrity's here as well. The first 5 times you crit, charge an item each second. Not really relevant. Righty-tighty, the first 5... when you use your rightmost item, slow an item for a second, that would give me the ability to put the lighthouse back on board. So, like, I'd lose Lighter and Shark Ray, and then this would be my board. The only problem is Lighthouse does additional burn damage, right? That's what it benefits from. That's why I care about all these slow triggers the Turbo Glass is capable of putting out. Again, the slow triggers would be coming from righty-tighty. But it's doing all of that in service of Lighthouse in order to do damage, whereas I'm actually doing a lot more damage with Shark Ray. I'm going to go with the mixed messages haste trigger.
Every coin goes back to our community. We Sphinxians thank you.
I don't have anything on my board that cares about adjacency at the moment, so I'm just going to make sure that Barrel is my rightmost and Turbo my leftmost. And then I'm going to hit up the docks, because I need money. Pole sells large items. There's a mountain pass. I'm going to go to the mountain pass, and I'm going to fight Sergeant Suds. All right, buddy. I almost never fight you. For really good reason. Your items suck. So yeah, we can see that the Shark Ray is now perma-hasted, and it's very easily clearing 500 damage very early. Our enemy was not particularly aggressive, to be fair. Rivet Gun. It's a weapon and a tool. Every 9 seconds, deal 20 damage. When you use the item to the right of this, charge the item to the left of this. A second. Eh. Forged Fortune. There's also 2 gold and a silver tier loot item, or a silver tier item. I'm going to go silver tier loot item because almost none of them can disappoint me. Especially Pelt for just some additional gold.
I have seen such talent once before, and it bloomed into a Dira.
You should know, I'm a bit of a legend on Pelago. Go ahead, underestimate me. It makes this more fun.
Definitely school holidays. We've got a trebuchet on field, though. When you use another weapon or haste, it's gold trebuchet. When you use another weapon or haste, charge this 3 seconds, and they've got a captain's wheel next to it. Oh boy. Oh, they've even got a silencer for lowering the trebuchet. Oh, wow. A life preserver for keeping them alive as well.
You should put it towards
The Shark Ray is going absolutely turbo mode on them, though. Just going big sicko mode. Barrel with an extra 144 for 1,440 rather for my shielding the entire time. This is working really well. I actually can't really, other than if I manage to loot a rainbow potion, which would help me take a couple of items off fields. The lighter and the catfish would be replaced with rainbow potion. Other than that, I don't really know what I change about my build from here on out, except for just leveling up the items that I have. In pursuit of that, Andy selling small items is doing nothing for me. I'm gonna go get 5 gold, Cache of Riches. Tox Clock sells haste, slow, and cooldown items, so we could get the dock lines or the Shark Ray. Ideally.
Life is urgent. Hurry up.
Obviously not guaranteed to get it even. Illuso Rave, reach adjacent friend, this has +1 multicast. Yeah, but dock lines. I could have that as my slow, but I could also have dock lines instead, and dock lines is really good. Get rid of the pearl now. But also, it only costs me 4 to hold the Illuso Ray for a possible future. And if it's sat between Catfish and Shark Ray, it would have multicast, which means the dock lines... Like, it would have multicast, which means it donates shield to the barrel and haste to the Shark Ray much faster. And crit to everything. No, not crit to everything. I don't think the Illuso Ray is going to be better here. I'm going to just roll. Oh, wow. Weatherglass upgrade. I'll take 2 additional burn and 1 additional poison from it. Thank you. There's also electric eels. When your enemy uses an item, charge this 1 second. So electric eels, I really want to use. I want to do this. I want to run the lighthouse and electric eels and then dock lines. And then I've got what? 3, 2, 3. I've got 2 more slots left on board. I guess I put Beach Ball on there as well. And then it's all about slowing down my enemy so commonly that the lighthouse deals with them. I like it, but again, I don't like it more than what I'm currently doing. The fact that we have a turbo weatherglass and we're just buffing the Shark Ray, I think, is going to overwhelm most of the things we could do. Shock Trooper. Shock Trooper does have access to some burn stuff. Tracer Fire, when you burn, your items gain critical for the fight. There's Incendiary Rounds, which is actually pretty sick here. Because Incendiary Rounds is cooldown every 6 seconds, burn 3. When you use an adjacent item, charge this a second. And I'd just be able to put that next to the Turbo Weatherglass, which would be eventually activating faster than the lighter. But again, I don't understand how... Improvised Bludgeon is actually sick for me right now. It gives 2 additional seconds worth of slow to the dock lines. Yeah, the Thug has so many hits. The Bonk skill, Thieves Medallion. In this instance, Improvised Bludgeon as well. Spices for some builds. Junkyard Club for other builds. I'm obviously a big fan of Bonk. Enemy cooldowns are increased by a single second. I think it's far and away the best hit here for us. But I'm not going to turn down the Thieves Guild Medallion. But I'm definitely not going to turn down Bonk. Just slow my enemies. I love it. Okay. We've hit level 10, so we've got our first enchant available. Oh, Shark Ray. Do you scale appropriately now? Yep, Shock Ray. If I gave it restorative, it would heal equal to the item's damage. Now, Mirkwood Bayou, that's additional poison. I could give that to the Weather Glass in order to give double poison to the enemy, but realistically, my damage is the Shock Ray. The Weather Glass is actually just a haste enabler in this build. I definitely think that this is Shock Ray. Barrel, additional crit chance. And it doesn't scale with anything. I mean, the barrel would heal equal to the item's shield, but the Shock Ray gets more, sees significantly more haste triggers than the barrel sees items activated. I'm glad that they changed a lot of the enchants, and they say that they're going to continue changing the enchants, because the enchants were apparently a relatively recent system added to the game before it actually went into the closed beta. But I'm glad that they're changing the enchants to actually feel like they adopt the identity of the item they're attached to. Because this just saying heal 180, which is what it would have previously, something like heal some flat number, really doesn't feel like it actually reflects the item. That said, do you need lifesteal when you have heal equal to this item's damage? Maybe the lifesteal enchant doesn't need to be there, and just healing Bayou on a weapon is how you get that. I don't know. That's for the future to decide. What I decide right now is whether or not I go to Nautica, and I decide to.
So cute.
Crow's Nest. Your weapons have 40% additional crit chance. If it has exactly one weapon, that weapon gains lifesteal. My weapon already has lifesteal. Fishing net for a piranha at the start of each day. There's the Illuso Ray. Take my roll. There's the Lighthouse upgrade, but I don't think I ever field it again. I don't see it happening. I took Mixed Message. I've got to have a weapon on field. Anchor, when you use an adjacent item, this gains haste for 2 seconds. We're fine.
Away then, or walk away.
Hef, you sell burn items. You could sell me a weather glass upgrade. You could sell me a lighter. You know what? I'm not going to speculate. Why don't you show me what you could sell me? Hey, blunderbuss every 4 seconds, deal 100 damage when you burn, charge this a second. But incendiary rounds every 6 seconds, burn 3 when you use an adjacent item, charge this for 1 second. Thank you.
Another step on the way of flame.
I'll pop that between turbo weatherglass and dock lines, and eventually, I think at diamond tier, incendiary rounds will charge for 3 seconds. So yeah. This can be good. I'll re-roll your supply. And there's the weather glass upgrade. It's finally time to get rid of the rivet gun. 2 additional burn, 1 additional poison. The fastest weather glass in the West. Uh-oh, birdie.
My fight isn't with you, but if you insist.
Ooh, blast doors. When your opponent uses a weapon or a burn item, charge this a second. The first time you fall below half health each fight, charge this. Or, sorry, use this. They're a shield scaling build. This is when I'm very grateful to have poison attached to one of my weapons. That said, it does look like my Shark Ray is just going to manage to bite straight through those blast doors. They bunkered down, but they weren't ready for a Sharknado. If I don't name that the name of the episode somehow, they've got a bonk as well. They had bonk. We both bonked one another. Kev's Armory, health, toughness, and shield items. I would like to upgrade the barrel. Barrel is starting to feel pretty lackluster in this build. but it's very narrow to try and hit just that from Kev's Armory. Realistically, I probably want to hit it from Mittel. Eating contest for another 150 max HP. Max HP is not easy to come across. For Vanessa, it's really not easy to come across. Gotta take it when you see it. So I could get 7 more golds. I'd have the ability to buy a medium item of silver tier. I can't go to Kina. I gotta save some money here. 3 more gold chocolate bars. What did I just say? What did I just say? Joyful Jack, you have the freeze counter. But again, it's not guaranteed that we get it. Dr. Vortex. Dr. Vortex is actually sick for us right now. Neophilia. Neophiliac, rather, is the name of the skill. The first time you freeze, burn, slow, poison, and haste each fight, charge an item 2 seconds. So the first time the Turbo Weather Glass goes off, I would charge 3 items 2 seconds. That'd be really good for me trying to get my build online fast. God, the shark! I gotta upgrade that shark. I gotta get it to a higher tier. Does so much work. Look at the damage. It activated 4 times and did 2.7 thousand. Old Zane sells skills unique to Vanessa. Rukon teaches weapon skills. C4 teaches ammo skills. There's so many weapon skills that aren't going to be relevant to us because we only have 1 on field. I'm going to go for Old Zane. I'm really hoping for, there it is, Oceanic Rush. At the start of each fight, haste an aquatic item for 6 seconds. Also Berserker, when your enemy has more health than you, your weapon cooldown's reduced by 5%. And then finally, Best Defense. When you use a weapon, give weapons adjacent to it plus 3 damage for the fight. But I'm taking Oceanic Rush. I just want my items to activate faster. Street Festival. Visit one of 3 street merchants. I'm gonna skip that one this time and hit up a recycling center for a non-combat item, or rather a non-weapon item. It's not necessarily non-combat, that's a honing steel. Nautica sells aquatic items. Oh, Docklines, Shark Ray. I don't really care about the catfish upgrade. But Docklines and Shark Ray are both in that store. But it's up against the BazaarCon, and BazaarCon is experience, and experience is the most important thing to me right now. Alright, healing. Ooh, we've both only dropped a single fight so far. I've got Bonk, which means that I can take care of a lot of really annoying stuff. They've got Flurry of Blows, so they're definitely doing some annoying stuff. Increasing the Pufferfish and the Radiant Cutlass's cooldowns by 1 second apiece. That's nice. Oh, they do a lot of damage. They're getting scaling from the Shadowed Cloak. I'm getting a lot of healing scaling from my Restorative Shark Ray. It's the only reason I'm still in the fight, actually, is that restorative buff on that Shark Ray. Alright, we got there. 9% crit chance and we landed it. Yeah, so their Radiant Cutlass did about the same damage my Shark Ray did over that period of time, but I had shielding and they didn't. I also had healing and they didn't. Well, actually, no, they did have healing because they have the lifesteal from the Crow's Nest. I'm kind of surprised that they fielded a Pufferfish. I guess they don't have any free adjacencies for the Radiant Cutlass. Radiant Cutlass can't be slowed, frozen, or destroyed. That worked really well for them. The fact that they couldn't get slowed. That was huge. Gold tier ammo item, not useful to me. Gold tier loot item, could be. Give me cooldown reduction, and gold tier item in general. Give me the cooldown reduction, though. Oh, +2 max ammo. That's not what you want to see. Scrap salvage, Jules Cafe. We're definitely going to Kina here. Couldn't be Kina to go. Holsters at the start of each fight. Haste your small items for a single second. There's pop snappers and the seashell. I'm not going to take any of those, though. Oh, the lighthouse is back. Anyway.
I suppose you'll
you'll go buy a weapon instead.
No, I'm just trying to buy non-weapons that aren't the ones you were offering, please. Middle is here against the eating contest. I would have gone for the eating contest earlier, but I desperately need middle.
What can I get you?
Come on, a barrel or a dock lines is what you can get me, hon. Fishing net for a gold piranha each day. No, thank you. Oof. They call that big oof. Blunderbuss, when you burn, charges 2 seconds. I'd be able to charge it so commonly. Sure, it would do 600 damage and then it would be gone. And the restorative shock ray is significantly better than it, but, you know.
Every item finds its buyer. It's a relationship, you know?
Enclave Revenant. There's no reason I want to go to you right now, right? No. No, there really isn't. Bloodreef Captain, do you have anything better for me? You have Captain's Wheel? No. Elite Duelist. How about you, buddy? Big Ego. Your weapons have life steals. That would just double the damage that we get out of the restorative shock ray.
We're on an important mission, right? Overthrowing tyrants, liberation, and such?
I don't think we're going Elite Duelist, actually. I think this is a case of going for the Enclave Revenant just to get the additional experience and gold. To get lifesteal on a weapon that already has lifesteal, yes, it would double the amount of healing that I get from that weapon, but in most cases, that shouldn't really change anything to us. In most cases. Oh boy. Ectoplasm. 6 seconds, poison 3, and heal equal to your opponent's poison. I could theoretically replace Catfish with that. Upgrade your leftmost item. That should definitely be the Shark Ray, I believe. Let me actually have a look at Shark Ray scaling, but I think it's Shark Ray. Yeah, Shark Ray doubles its scaling with an upgrade here. It's absolutely bonkers. It goes from 20 on haste to 40. Lux, you sell diamond tier items. I can't really afford. Well, I could afford a single diamond tier item right now. But it's up against 260 max HP or experience. 2 experience. Oh. I legitimately don't know what Lux could give me that I'm going to want more than the max HP or the experience. I'm going to take the experience. Network. Thank you kindly. Aerodrome. I could reroll to go almost anywhere. Bakun. Sells medium and large items, possible dock lines, possible barrel, and buys small items at +1 value. So I can sell you a bunch of stuff. That's great for me.
Oh, hello. I mean, welcome to my business.
Oh, Trebuchet. When you use another weapon or haste, charge this 3 seconds. There's a funny build where I take Incendiary and Shark Ray. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm just telling you this right now. I'm not going to do it. But if I took Incendiary rounds and Shark Ray off of the field to field Trebuchet, and then just relied on my haste triggers from Turbo Weatherglass to cause the Trebuchet to just fire constantly, it could be fun. I'm not doing it, though. Cove. Shield equal to triple its items value. Blunderbuss is back. None of those are relevant to me. Oh, there's the lighthouse again. Rifle and the Ramrod. Ramrod every 8 seconds reloads adjacent items with 3 ammo and hastes them 3 seconds. Yeah, that's not relevant to me, but it does give me a good opportunity to sell all of my small items for +1 value, as Bakun buys small items at +1. Realistically, I do think I can probably take the barrel off of the field at this point. And if I did take the barrel off the field, I could lower the cooldown. I could put Star Chart to get 10% cooldown reduction on Turbo Weatherglass and the Restorative Shark Ray, or even just field the Bouncy Ball. But there are still builds. I still don't have enough max HP to feel as comfortable doing that as I really want to feel comfortable, you know?
Not to squabble with nobody.
Ooh, Mixed Message and Crashing Waves. I wouldn't have been surprised if they had their own Shark Ray on field. They have a Radiant Lanchan. It can't be slowed, and it crits. Guaranteed. Oh boy. They also slow my board, and I don't get my next Restorative Shark Ray hit in time. Yeah, they were faster than me. Ooh, that hurt. So the Lanchan had a cooldown of 6.8 seconds, had a 100% crit chance. They were slowing constantly with the dock lines. They were using dock lines and Sextant, so they had Mixed Messages and Crashing Waves, hasting the Lanchan, and it's Radiant. The fact that it's Radiant is the real difference maker there, because if it slowed, and they only have 3 active items on board, so the dock lines would have kept it slowed permanently. If they slowed, even if they had the haste trigger from Sextant, I would have come out ahead. Forger to upgrade an item. Yes, please. And it's the dock lines. Slows a 4th item for a 3rd second. Sanguine Valley, enchant a weapon with lifesteal. Yeah, the Shark Ray that already has heal instead. Versus Alia, who sells weapons. I'm gonna relax and get... None of the rest of them have any benefit to me, so I'm gonna relax there. Prostrate Champion. Do you wanna just quickly remind me what you do? Because you were only re-enabled in this patch. Prostrate Champion. Blizzard. At the start of each fight, freeze all non-weapon items for 2 seconds. They also have the skill Invigorating Cold. The first time you freeze each fight, haste your items for 2 seconds. They've got a Frost Potion. They've got Snowflake. The thing is, they're up against the Master Alchemist, and the Master Alchemist has 2, count them, 2 Rainbow Potions.
Prepare to be peer reviewed.
I could free up a single slot on my board if I had that. Give it to me! Give it to me.
Blast. Not enough bismuth in the antimony.
Modern Pestle. Give your lifesteal weapons plus 10 damage to the fight, and the weapon on this right has lifesteal. No thank you. Haste and charge skills from Zara, but Adira is here with diamond tier skills. Oh no. What diamond tier skills does Vanessa have active? Big guns, double the damage of your large weapons. They have Circle of Life, your leftmost weapon has lifesteal. Glass Cannon, both players' weapons have double damage. Knife Tricks. Quick Ignition would be good. At the start of the fight, haste your burn items for 2 seconds. Just get my Turbo Weatherglass to go off faster. Retooled, your leftmost tool has +1 multicast. I'd give that to the dock lines rather than getting a 5th multicast on Turbo. Oh, Shield Bash is in our pool as well. You can't turn that down. I know Zara is there. Let's have a look at haste and charge related stuff, right? So charge related, we have Flurry of Blows. First 5 times you use a weapon each fight, charge an item a second, 2 seconds. Sick Burn, when you poison, charge a burn item for a second or 2 seconds. That'd be really good for the Turbo Weatherglass, but unfortunately the incendiary rounds would also eat some of those. Alacrity, based on crits, not really into that. We could upgrade Crashing Waves. Oh, no, we could get crashing waves. We don't have that. When you use an aquatic item, haste a weapon for 2 seconds. But turbo weather glass is not an aquatic item. Our only aquatic items at this point are catfish, turbo, and catfish dock lines rather, and the shark ray. Lefty loosey, oceanic rush, quick ignition. I mean, some of the best things that I can get from Adira, I want from Zara, but Adira is guaranteed to give me diamond tier skills.
I've been watching your progress. At last.
Yeah, like right here. Retooled. Your leftmost tool has +1 multicast.
Was right. You are a quick study.
I'm going to slow 8 items every 4 seconds with my dock lines. Thank you very much. And that's going to give me 8% crit chance every single time it goes off. Furnace and JJ's here to sell items. Honestly, give me the max HP. I have so much money right now, and I don't have so much max HP right now. What's in this mysterious portal? Seraphina selling enchanted items, I see.
What can I get you?
Obsidian blunderbuss. When you burn, charge this 1 second. It has lifesteal. There's shielded bolus. Shield equal to the item's damage. Toxic wanted poster. When a fight against a player with it, you gain an additional experience. I mean, toxic wanted poster is legitimately good for giving me additional experience.
Will you use
And you can buy multiple items from Seraphina now. You don't just have to buy one. I'll roll to see what they have. Heavy turtle shell. Obsidian arbalist. When you haste, this gains 50 damage to the fight. It has lifesteal. Fiery clamor. No thank you. That was a very expensive roll to just look at some options, but it's possible it could have had an enchanted version of a barrel. Not likely. I'm not going to tell you that was likely, but it was possible. Do I have any reason to care about my placements beyond what I am currently? No, I do not. Crystallix?
I may be young for a captain.
Don't you dare tell me that you have a radiant weapon as well, hit me with lifesteal and crit. Don't you? Forget about me. Oh, turbo trebuchet and the water wheel. That's going to be a lot of burn. And boy, howdy is it. Oh, I get to bite them, but nope, that's enough burn.
You move in straight lines.
Oh no. I knew that was a build, but I didn't expect to get hit by it so hard, so fast. So when the trebuchet goes off, it is hasting an item, so it's immediately giving itself 4 seconds worth of charge. And when it goes off, it's giving 2 seconds worth of charge to the captain's wheel. The captain's wheel, when it goes off, hastes 2 items, basically triggering the trebuchet. And the water wheel itself says haste all of your other items 2 seconds when you use an adjacent item. The water wheel is not charged up yet, but this is going off. Freeze is required to stop that. Something I don't really have access to right now, but if I get a freezing enchant... I didn't expect to get a freezing enchant. Mirkwood Bayou. Enchant an item with poison effects. Oh, yo! The Docklines doesn't have an enchant on it? Hang on. All right. All right, now, ladies. Yeah? If I give this poison enchant to something else, other than the catfish, like the incendiary or the Docklines, then I can take the catfish off field. And that's actually really good, because then the only aquatic items on field are the Docklines and the Shark Ray, which are the ones that I want to trigger. I'm gonna do it to the Docklines.
Ships may sink, but I'm a good swimmer.
Kina sells non-weapon items, botanical gardens. Kina, find me a 1-slot item. A 1-slot wonder, please.
Warful.
Sextant. Haste an item for 3 seconds. Adjacent items have 30% additional crit chance. When you crit, charge this. No thank you. Charm. I mean, realistically, Barrel is already, like, out of play. Barrel is already not happening. I could replace that slot with a Sextant to try and give 30% crit chance to both the Turbo and the Restorative. And then they only get more crit chance from there. The real problem is the Restorative, even with haste, is still only activating every 3.5 seconds.
Your aura guided me what you needed.
I take the Sextant, I roll, I don't see anything I want. I'm going to replace the barrel. Pearl. When you use another aquatic item, charge this 3 seconds? Oh, but Pearl's an aquatic item itself. I need to replace the Catfish with something else. Legitimately, Catfish is probably better not on board right now. I'm probably much better served without it. I'm gonna go to Andy because I'm so desperate for a small item that's relevant! Silencer! The weapon to the left of this has plus 50 damage. If you have exactly one weapon, reduce its cooldown by 40%. That's exactly what we needed. And it's diamond tier.
Whoever said money can't buy class.
Now the Shark Ray attacks in 4.2 seconds, and when it's hasted, which should be always, it attacks every 2.1. I'm gonna go 2 gold and a gold tier loot item. I was about to tell you that I was looking for cooldown reduction.
Everyone, you got it here.
But I don't need to. Lord Arkin. I can definitely take you out with this. And I'd really like your skill, Unwavering, when you use an item shield 40. That worked pretty well. The Eclipse. Every 15 seconds, use all your other items. When you use an item, deal 100 damage. The first time you fall below half health each fight, use this. There's a world in which, like, I could field that instead of the Shark Ray, because it's got a 40% cooldown reduction from the Silencer. So 40% off of 15 seconds is 6. So it's down to a 9-second cooldown. And it does 100 damage whenever, well, 150 damage whenever I use another item. Honestly, that's actually not good. Oh, I wanted to look at the recap there. Oops. Curio sells bronze tier neutral items. The only problem is Nufu sells skills. And I have so much money for skills right now.
Experience is treasure. I will share mine with you.
Righty-tighty, when you use your rightmost item, slow an item 1 second. Also, improve toxins. Your poison items have +6 poison. Actually, I think that matters. Mixed message, for an additional second of haste, it's more targets of haste that matters to me because I hit perma-haste so quickly. It's more targets of haste that gets the restorative Shark Ray to scale faster. I'm gonna take the poison. Fallen teaches gold tier skills. Sextant upgrade, I think.
Ooh, the keener the blade, the quicker the fight.
When you crit, charge this 3 seconds. Sextant can definitely go off board at some point. Gumballs. I'm gonna get rid of the barrel and hit up the Gumballs. I'd definitely be most impacted by crit chance. Literally, yellow Gumballs don't do anything for me, so. Blue, please? We got 0 blues the entire time. And now I have blues. AJ Casts, you and I are both on the same record at this point. Which of us is doing better? They've got 2 enchants at
You
least.
should know, I'm a bit of a legend on Pelago.
Yeah, regeneration equal to half the burn of the enemy. Oh no, Fiery Monitor Lizard. So they're going to be scaling their burn and poison at the same time. Okay. Did I slow all of their stuff to the degree that they actually didn't get to play? Yeah, only their Turtle Shell, Alpha Ray, and Icy Welding Helmet, I guess also the Toxic Ignition Core, managed to go off. Because by the start of the fight, I believe my hasted item was the Toxic Dock Lines. So 1.9 seconds in, I slowed all of their items for 4 seconds. And then 4 seconds later, I did it again. Well, for 3 seconds. Deep sea fishing. This one's going to be Curio, and I'm looking for cooldown reduction. There's the insect wing.
Now that's a bargain.
I can get slight additional damage for the Shark Ray, but that doesn't matter. The Shark Ray gets literally 40 damage from a single haste trigger. Rather hold that money back for when it's needed. Again, Knee Brace tech is dead. That no longer exists. You don't have to field it. You don't have to do the rigmarole. I'm so glad.
Waiting for you.
The Shark Ray is now activating in 3.8 seconds, which I think is pretty damn good. Gland for another regen. I'll do that, sure. 1 regen. This has got to be epic battle. Level ups matter so much more to me than standard shops at this point, because level ups come alongside... Oh, Void Golem destroys a item on our board at the start of the fight. If it destroys the Shark Ray or the Weather Glass, I'm screwed. Please don't do it. There goes the dock lines. The dock lines are really important to this build, but we'll see if I can live without them. Yep. We managed to get there.
Waste of gunpowder.
Caltrops. When your enemy uses an item, deal 1 damage. This is not the build for Caltrops. I don't get to increase its damage at all. Professor Wriggle, you teach burn skills. Rukon, you teach weapon skills. Now, there's not that many weapon skills that will cause this weapon to go off faster at the start of the fight, which is what I really want. So instead, I'm going to look at poison skills, and what I'm really looking for here is called Toxin Injector. It is Diamond tier, so I don't expect to find it.
I'm a professor of the toxic arts.
Improvised Poison. When you crit, your poison items gain +1 poison for the fight, and Chemical Fire. Your burn items have +1 burn, and your poison items have +1 poison. But there's also Paralytic Potion here. The first time you poison each fight, freeze an item for 3 seconds. Yep. I just want some freeze. Absolutely give me some freeze for this build, please. Trash Titan? You don't... I gotta confirm this, because I always get this weird feeling like Trash Titan has the Rainbow Potion. It does not. They do not have the Rainbow Potion. Okay, yeah, Lord of the Wastes is definitely the way for us.
The world whirls like the wind.
Pendulum. Every 9 seconds, haste your items for 2 seconds. When you crit, charge this 3 seconds. Adjacent items have additional crit chance. So that's just a much better sextant. It charges slower, but it hastes all of your items.
Is true. Someday you will see.
Obviously, it's in a different character, though. Foreboding Winds. When any player uses an item, all items gain 2% crit chance for the fight. I'm worried that I will give my enemies crit chance. I think I benefit more from the crit chance than they do. 5% HP at this point is absolutely no joke. It's 392. That's 2 and a bit chocolate events, and I still take the chocolate events. So, just tell you how impactful I find that. Speaking of, it's time for some chocolate. I'm getting rid of the caltrops. I'm going to quickly, actually, before I do so, look up caltrops. Okay, that's kind of interesting. Caltrops, when it upgrades, when it gets enchanted, gives its enchantment effect. So, like, for instance, the heavy enchantment for it is when your enemy uses an item, slow an item. So it does have unique, interesting triggers. Actually, the dock events can't show up anymore. Goodbye. We'll throw away the star chart instead. I'm pretty sure dock events can't show up anymore. Gold or diamond tier item, gold or diamond tier loot item, 2 gold for each friend. I need to have a different name. I'm just saying money instead of gold, because gold is both the amount of gold that I currently have, but also a tier in the game. This really needs to... I really need to differentiate those a little. Sharpening stone, 10 additional damage, sure.
Now that's a healthy diet.
It's not nothing. Oh, it's... The weather glass is literally just here to power up the shark ray. I love it so much. Sexton doing absolute... Honestly, Sexton's probably doing basically nothing at this point. It's the easiest slot on the board to replace. Definitely.
Go ahead.
It's not
Underestimate.
common...
Makes this more
It's not common enough haste triggers, and it's not enough by raw amount of haste triggers for me to really be enthused about it. Okay, this enemy does have the ability to freeze all of my items for 2 seconds when they get to half health, which is actually legitimately terrifying. Yeah, it's legitimately terrifying if they also poisoned me significantly in that time, which they forgot to do. This toxic dock lines is absolutely slowing people down. The Sextant, it activated 12 times? I'm very surprised by that. I'm legitimately very surprised. Monster Ranch, this event is different now. You get to choose one of 5 upgrades. 2 experience versus 3% cooldown reduction. I'm actually going to take the experience here. 3% cooldown reduction for the entire board I might have taken, but 3% cooldown reduction for a single thing versus 2 experience, that's a bit harder. JG sells items. What do I think is the chance that you actually upgrade my incendiary rounds, and also secondly that I care? It's time to go to an eating contest, I think. Oh, this is perfect. Void Colossus, I don't think you can do anything about my... Oh no, hulking experiment! Dang. Yeah, hulking experiment does have 2 rainbow potions available on their side. I should have fought the hulking experiment there. They'll be able to charge the Eye of the Colossus, and they might even be able to destroy one of my items. They weren't, and they didn't.
See that plank? Walk it.
Void Shield! Gain shield equal to your enemy's burn. When your enemy uses an item, burn 1. I mean, that's nice, but, like, I don't think it replaces incendiary rounds. I don't think it replaces Sextant. I don't burn my enemy enough for Void Shield, and also I don't scale the amount of burn that it gives to my enemies. Oh, hello. Wait a second. Wanted. I'm looking up what wanted poster gets. Wanted poster with turbo enhancement Sirocco Step. It will, at the start of each fight, haste 3 items for 4 seconds. I think that activating significantly faster is worth way more. Wait, but does Void Ray do something stupid? No. Wait, it's not Void Ray I have. It's Void something else. Void Shield. Okay. No, unfortunately, Void Shield does not say when your enemy uses an item, haste. That would have been sick. Let's also have a look at what the Silencer is capable of doing. Silencer, when you use the weapon to the left of this, haste it for 2 seconds. Yeah. Sextant, you just double your haste duration. Yeah, it just doubles its haste duration.
The crew's getting restless. They're loyal
I
to
think,
me.
I legitimately think the answer is take the Sextant off board, field the wanted poster. Wait. Okay, Caltrops, I kept for this specific reason, remember? And Caltrop says, when your enemy uses an item, haste an item for 2 seconds. Now, do I have anything that requires me to... Oh, I do. I have the Silencer, which requires me to have only 1 weapon on board. That's unfortunate. Because Caltrops would haste every time an enemy uses an item. The realistic thing is, though, most of my enemies, the enemies that I'm really good against especially, they don't get to use many of their items. So I do think it's literally, I just want the wanted poster on field, and I want to give it haste. Because then I get 3 items hasted at the very start of the fight immediately, and I also get an aquatic item hasted at the start of the fight immediately.
Now this
From my Oceanic Rush.
literally
5% more max HP and some regen. Goes down a treat. Racetrack, get a haste item. I already got a couple of them. It just matters how fast I start the fight at this point, I think. Especially because I lock them down so hard. Nautica sells aquatic items. Actually, no, I'm going to go to Jules Cafe and I'm going to get 1,000 additional HP because this is my final day. Vermeer teaches crit skills. C4 teaches ammo skills. Realistically, I want to freeze. I just want to freeze.
Slow, but sure, let's make it worse.
When you freeze, reload a weapon 1 ammo. Don't have that. Paralytic poison gets an extra second of freezing. Not great. Reaching the summit, 2% crit chance when you freeze. Really? I'm going to reroll. Invigorating Cold! The first time you freeze each fight, haste your items 2 seconds. There's also Frozen Shot, the first when you use your slowest weapon, my Shark Ray. Freeze a smaller item for a single second, and then Frozen Flames. When your items gain freeze, burn 8. I think it's Invigorating Cold. Because with Invigorating Cold, as soon as Toxic Dock Lines goes off, everything has haste permanently. But also, everything has haste permanently basically when the Turbo Wanted poster is on the field, because it gets haste enough afterwards. Okay, never mind, I'm gonna go Frozen Shot.
It's hard to dislike a pink.
I guess there's like some things that Frozen Shot can shut down. Alright. Forfidoc. Sounds like a... It's not a full wizard, right? But it's definitely a spellcaster. It's a reclusive druid. That's a reclusive druid name.
I'm a bit of a legend on Pelago.
Okay. My stuff starts immediately. I freeze their pufferfish. I'm absolutely in permanent haste territory. I've already given them infinite crit, which is annoying. They're scaling their shielding from the pufferfish. That's also really bad for me. Their shielding is getting really high. My Shark Ray is going okay, but they're getting back to full health every time I do it.
I've got another salve.
But the poison from the dock lines and the turbo weather glass gets him under the shield, baby. That's what they call a W? That's what the kids these days called epic ownage. Just gonna quickly get my thumbnail images here. Let's have a look at that recap. 22,000 damage and healing out of the Shark Ray there. 3 seconds, 3 triggers of haste from the Turbo Wanted poster. Their shielded pufferfish would have been critting the entire time, explaining a lot of their shield. They had Turbo Turtle Shell giving the shielded pufferfish. Oh, that's so cool. Deadly Pearl as well. That shielded them by itself for 11,000. That was a legitimately impressive build. Shame it came up against mine.
Of House Corzina. My father lives through me.
That'll be a 10 gold victory. 10 win gold victory, rather. Bonk had so much, did so much. And it always does. It's so good. Legitimately, I think Bonk probably needs to be removed from the game. But it's so good. Retooled, hit the mixed messages when I was kind of expecting to as well. Just a big old Shark Ray run. Gotta be proud of that. I'll take my 3 chests and toddle onwards towards the next episode, where I'm gonna start out at Silver Rank 2, but also I'll be playing Dooley. Dooley's been changed pretty significantly by the patch, but I don't think Dooley is at all dead. For the moment though, my name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been the Bazaar. Top left is the series playlist for all my content on the game past, present, and future. YouTube recommendations down below. I am streaming this game now on Twitch. Have a look at the top of the description down below in order to see my schedule. A special thanks this episode to Nick Starfield. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you all next time.